short video and show you some tips that you might not know before. So I want you to do an exercise after watching this video. I need you to like maybe go to your directories, your documents. If you open your file explorer, you see downloads, document, videos, all those things. I want you to navigate to your documents and create maybe a sample.txt file, and then try and write into that, add some things to that sample.txt, and then close it back. You can use Vim. Okay, no, sorry, you can't use Vim, you can't use Nano. Yeah, but just try and create it. Try and see if you can find a way and write into it, and then maybe delete it. You'll be seeing what you're doing as you're going on. So let me show you a sample from my own terminal, which on your own end now, since you're using Windows, it will be git bash that you open, not cmd. So from here now I can cd into, okay, let me do ls. So you see what I have here. I have all these things, all these directories. So for this postman agent here, this one right here that contains space between postman and agent, for you to go into that directory, there's a particular way you handle that. So let's say I do cd, and another thing you need to notice is actually case sensitive. What I mean by case sensitive is anything that is small letter, if you type it in capital letter, it won't work. It has to be exactly the way it is. That's exactly the way the name of that folder or directory or item is. So if I want to do postman agent now, if I do something like postman agent, which if you go to my folder root here, you see this is it, postman agent. So the ls now is just listing all the stuff I have in this place. So opening the terminal, it takes me directly to this root, this place where I have to select documents, downloads, and all of that. So if I do cd postman agent, sorry, it's not agent, to take me into this folder. So normally I should see this folder files, exactly. So let me do that. Let me press enter. You see no such file directory. The reason is there's a space in between. It will read it as individual. It will only read postman, not postman agent. So in this case, this kind of situation where you have something with a space in between, a folder with a space in between, you do postman agent. And another trick that can help you move faster with all these things, there's a tab key on the keyboard, tab, tab on the keyboard. You can always use it to autocomplete if you have the folder in that location. If you want to be sure that you typing it correct, you don't have to type the whole thing. If you press do part of it, then press tab, you see what it does. It auto completes it for you. So that way you don't have to worry too much about if you spell it correct or not. The moment you spell the beginning correct, you press tab. If it autocomplete is correct, you're doing the right thing. That's another way to check. So if I want to, from here now to the file, see, it has automatically added the slash for me. I want to go into postman agent. I want to also go into files again. In one command, I'll just do files. I'll add files too. See what it did. It's using something called regular expression to remove the slash. But if I do it like this, it will work. See now, this thing is now files. I'm inside the files. If I do ls, you see there's nothing in the files. That's why if I go into the files, see, it's empty. So if I want to go back, I do cd dot means one directory. I want to go out of this current directory, sorry. If I now add a slash, forward slash, and now do dot again, that means I'm going back 2 steps. So this should take me back to the home where I came from, like this. If I do ls, you see all those things again. You get it? So you putting it in quotes is the first trick. The case sensitivity, taking note of the capital, the small stuff. So if I do cd music like this, I'll go into the music. If I do ls, you see, so cd out dot. So what I want you to do is do cd into your development. For Windows, the way the stuff is will be a bit might be a bit different. You might see something like all those folders that you screenshot for me, where you now see the users. Yeah, I think you need to go to users, the user you're logged into, and then before you now see all these documents and downloads, you might not see them from the root when you open. You have to do cd into users. I think users is with a capital U. Then after you enter the users, you do ls. You see the user, the one you're logged in as. You select that one. You do cd into it before you now see documents. So me now, for my own case, I'll just go into documents with a capital D like this. I'm inside the documents now. If I do ls, that's this one. You can see all these things. So this is it. So I want to make, let's say, a directory mkdir. I name it tests like this. If I do ls again, you see test has been added. This is it, test. So I do cd into the test I created, right? I do ls, is empty right now. If I go into the test, as you can see, test is empty. So I now want to make a txt file. I can do okay, let me use touch, let's say test.txt. The major difference between files and directories is that files has extension. This .txt now is an extension. If I go into my documents now, you see that most of all these things .pdf, .dosc, the extension now will determine the type of file that it is. It will help the system differentiate between PDF files, Excel format file, picture.jpg, .png, all sort of picture file formats. So that's the extension. If I add this extension now, it will know that it's a text file, txt. So I create it. So if I want to open the txt file, I write into it. On my own case here, I can use Nano. So the thing is, I'm not sure if Nano will be available for you or Vim. Right, but I will maybe search how I can have it installed for you. But no worries, even if you're not able to write into it, you can double click on the file that you created. Maybe double click like this for it to open, then edit, add some things to it and save. But in my case, I'm going to use Nano, so you see how it works. I can do Nano test, then I press tab, so it auto-completes test.txt. This is it. Oh, it auto-saves. The stuff I just typed now auto-saved. So I'll just maybe cancel it and put hello world like this, and then cancel out of it using Control X. You see, I want to save the changes, yes. So if I do, okay, if I come here and open it again, you see that it's now hello world. Yeah. So that's actually what's happening. So if I want to delete, let me now delete it. I can use rm. The rm command can delete both files or directories, so I can use rm test.txt. See, I use tab to complete to make you do it faster. So if I do this, if I go back here, you see it's empty. If I want to remove the text all over, I have to maybe cd out of that directory. So I go to the directory where the text is located. You see what I just did? So I just do rm. Let me try rm test like this, and maybe try and prove a point for you. You see, test is a directory, not a file. The rm work for files, not directory. But there's something you can add to it. Instead of using rmdir that removes directory, this will actually work. But if you must use rm, like I said the other time, you can do rm-r, then test like this. The -r command, it actually translates to something recursive. I think it means even if it's something you open that there's something inside it, still go ahead and delete it. So the -r now is something we call flags. There are a lot of flags you can add to command. Anything starting with a hyphen, sorry, a hyphen symbol, that's the minus, is a flag. You see something like dash dash something dash whatever, it might be double hyphen or single hyphen, but all those are flags. So those are terminologies you need to get used to. So if I do this, it will remove the test. If I do ls, the test is no longer there. So these are some things I just need you uh, to maybe play around with on your own. Yeah.